Hey guys, Grindhead Jim here, and I'm here with another pickups video, which, spoilers, it's the very first gimme for retro collecting that I've ever had as a result of being a content creator. So it's a weird feeling, especially given I've only put out one pickup video, really, and it's humbling and it's super cool, but it presents a conundrum. What do you do when the goal that you've set for your series is achieved before the series barely even starts? I will take this challenge. I now have a complete, working, refurbished Famicom disk system. I mean, what? Huh? What? It even has a game in it. I mean, it's baseball, but it's free! I don't know what I'm complaining about. The entire thing was free. I'm not kidding. I might be burying the lead here, but Jimmy Chan X came in like a ninja and saved the day. I guess I should tell you guys the story. Based on a tip from Metal Jesus Rocks and John Riggs, I got this beauty. The Hyperkin Famicom to NES adapter. Simply put, it lets you play Famicom games, Japanese NES games, on an American NES. Plug and play, no muss, no fuss. Which by itself is really exciting, and I can explain why. Beyond the idea of just being able to play these games on a system I already own, it also enables you to use the Famicom disk system, and that was the tip that prompted me to get the converter in the first place. You also have to bear in mind that when I got back into collecting seriously in 2012, coming across a converter like that was very difficult and very expensive. Or you had to cut apart an original Gyromite cart that had the converter inside, but I'm not really inclined to do that, and I really wanted to keep the game. So when I see the video that talks about using the converter for the disk system, I immediately thought, wow, I should look into that again. Not even knowing that Hyperkin had made this converter, and it's like $12. So, no brainer, I got it. When it arrived, I tweeted to John Riggs, and I said, hey, thanks for the tip. Now all I need is a working disk system. And I made the joke, that should be easy, right? I actually thought that was funny. Less than an hour later, Jimmy Chan X replies to the tweet and says, hey, I've got a few extra if you're interested. And so begins the tale of our hero, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy and I proceed to talk via Twitter DM for some time. He imparts to me that he has been collecting Famicom disk systems for a couple years just for fun and refurbishing them, mainly putting the new belts inside to make sure that the system works. And then he acquired several extra because of just the nature of collecting. And that he didn't need them all and was willing to just send me one free of charge if I wanted one. What? Yes, he sent me a complete Famicom disk system free of charge. I only had to wait while he finished his exams for school because he was very busy. By the way, I am pleased to report that his exams went very well, and I'm very proud of him not being distracted and putting in the work. It's really important stuff, and I'm super happy that your education went as well as it did, Jimmy. Love you to death, brother. Keep on. After the exams, he messages me and says, hey, I'm ready to send this. I don't think I have a power supply, which, to be fair, should not be a big deal. After he told me you can use a Sega Genesis adapter, I look online at some different forums to see kind of what he's talking about, and there's some concern that certain power adapters with voltage and the way their amperage is set up and so forth, you want to be careful. You don't want to overheat the system. And because I am the way I am, I decided to start looking for an OEM, original manufacturer's power supply for the Famicom. Not too difficult to find, but those are about $30 to $40 on their own. Considering I'm getting a system which is refurbished, it's worth at least $100 in that condition, I can't complain about spending that kind of money at all. But Jimmy being Jimmy, and the time it takes for me to figure out what I'm looking for, he messages back again and tells me he has a power supply. This is an aftermarket Retrobit Genesis power adapter, but he knows that it'll work for the Famicom system safely. So I trust him. Also free. I cannot thank this man enough. He didn't know me, he didn't follow me on Twitter, he just happened to see the tweet and thought he was going to help out a fellow collector, and he did. Jimmy, thank you so much for this gift. It really kind of reignited an already sparking fire for collecting in me, and to have something like this, something that I never thought I would even see in person, let alone own in my own collection. It is a gift, it is an inspiration, and I cannot thank you enough. Now, I asked Jimmy if he had any projects or content or anything he was pushing, and no, he's just an impassioned collector going to university. So, if you're going to leave a comment thanking Jimmy, just wish him luck on all of his studies and all his future endeavors, and I promise to you, if he ever gets into content or anything that we can promote to help him get further in his career, we're going to be doing that right here to help him out because he deserves it. He's a great individual, really a representation of what makes this collecting community such an amazing thing to be a part of, and I simply wish him the best. And I know what you're thinking, have I used it yet? The answer is no. All of my retro consoles are still in storage, and it'll be at least 6 months before I get a working game room again. But I am super excited to know that when that day comes, this is waiting for me, and I cannot wait to try it out. And it gives me time to get some games. The first game on my list for the Famicom Disk System is Doki Doki Panic, which, as many of you know, was the Japanese game that Super Mario 2 in the US was ported from. They basically ported that game over, recycled a few sprites, added in the Mario sprites, and that's the game that we got in the US. But it was a completely separate game. And I think that because usually when you buy a Nintendo system, one of the first games you're going to get, usually, is a Mario game of some kind. It just makes sense. It's just that kind of nostalgic feeling of you get an NES or a Super Nintendo or anything that they make, you get a Mario game. Well, I figure if I'm getting the disc system, the first game I should be after is the game that made me aware the thing even existed in the first place. So that is the first game I'm looking for. If you know a good source for it, let me know in the comments, shoot me a tweet, something like that. I haven't started looking too hard for it. Of course, I would love to find it in the wild, but if I can find it online at a good price or for trade, I'm in. Because that's the first game that I would like to boot up on this system when the time comes. And we have time to make that happen. If you have any suggestions about great Famicom disc games to play, let me know. Tell me. I don't know anything about this system, really, other than what I've seen on other videos and in terms of concept. And to be frank, because I didn't think I was going to have one for at least a few months to a year, if ever, I hadn't really done the research on the games. And I've been so excited about doing the video about getting it, I decided to hold off on doing the research so that all of my excitement is as genuine as possible. So there you have it. One of my holy grails is now in my possession. Now I have to find games. But that's the fun part, right? Folks, we've got a lot more videos coming, so if you like this kind of thing, go ahead and click that like button, hit the subscribe button, and click on that notification bell so you never miss a video from me here. In addition to the collecting videos and the concepts of collecting, we like to talk about broader subjects, which are actually highlights from my Twitch stream. They're more of a podcast format. I know some folks like them, some folks don't, but that's what you're going to see on the channel. Long-form discussions, and then shorter videos like this that talk about collecting, my hunting, video from in the wild, and everything in between. So let me know what you like to see. If you have any questions, let me know. There's an FAQs video coming. And I've got a few more videos coming about how I approach collecting, why I collect, and everything in between. So if you've got a question that you want answered, hey, ask me. I'd love to answer it. And I thank you so much for stopping by today. Thanks again to Jimmy Chan X for being the ninja that he is. Thanks to John Riggs for the inspiration. And thank all of you yet again. My name is Grindhead Jim. May all of your grinds be merry. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.